Hi guys, welcome to the review of the Barra Heated Gloves by Mobile Warming Performance Heated Apparel. So these are the gloves that I wore to the Brass Monkey earlier this year. They are certainly a well-made glove, easy to put on and off, which is handy for a glove. I really like them even without the warming part switched on. They're just a nice, warm, comfortable glove. So let's just go through a few of the bits and pieces. Powered by a twin battery setup inside here. One battery there, one battery there. So that's the batteries, and they just tuck inside either side of this zip area here, no problems, and you just plug them in there like that, simple as that. Zip them closed, and as I'm not sure if you can see, to be honest, but it is already on. We found that once you plug these in, the batteries in, it automatically turns on, so it's just something you've got to be aware of. You don't want to plug it in and think, oh, I'll turn them on later. They're already on once you plug them in. So that's currently on the red setting, which is the hottest setting. There's 4 different settings. The next one down is orange, green, blue. So on the red setting, the batteries will last 2.2 hours. Gee, I can feel those getting warm already. So you put those on and it's just instant warmth right through here, especially the back of the hand and a bit down the fingers, it feels like, but it's yeah, more the back of the hand. Obviously, like I was saying, red setting 2.2 hours, yellow setting or orange setting is 2.8 hours, green setting is 4 hours, blue setting is 8 hours charge, or 8 hours is how long the charge will last at the blue setting. To be honest, when it's cold, I've only ever put it straight on to the red setting. Yeah, when your hands are getting cold, I guess you just want them warm. You don't want to be mucking around with the low settings. So I don't see the sense in having those other settings. It's either you want them warm or not. I suppose if you're in an area where you're not going to be able to have that availability to charge them, you might want to go to the lower settings just to make the charge last longer. So again, just to get them going, just plug the batteries in. Again, it turns on automatically, as saying before. To turn it off, you just push the button down, hold it for a couple of seconds, and it turns off. And again, just the opposite, to turn it back on, hold it down for a couple of seconds, and it turns back on. Which is nice and easy standing here. While riding the motorbike, it's a little bit more of a skill, shall we say. Like I say, when you're riding the bike, I'm lucky. I normally get silly to turn it off and on this hand, and on this, obviously my throttle hand, I can just lean over and change the settings on there. Yeah, so like I was saying, guys, great gloves, and on the red setting or the hottest setting, your hands are just warm, but the top half, definitely only the top half. My bike's got heated hand grips, so obviously in the real cold I turn those on, so then I'm getting the hands are getting warmed on the inside as well. I've got to say that you still get cold fingers eventually, a lot slower to happen. I haven't been riding in a lot of real cold conditions to really test them out. Obviously it's cold enough down here in Christchurch at the moment. We went for a ride on Saturday up through the north of Canterbury, and it was pretty cold all day, and my hands were pretty good in these, but I did have the heated hand grips turned on as well. So yeah, great set of gloves. Just as a side note, they do have the little windscreen wiper built in here on the forefinger, just to give the old visor a bit of a wipe in the wet weather, so that's good. And you can adjust the straps to however tight you want them. I actually have them just probably as loose as possible, so you're not having to muck around undoing straps and tightening straps when you're putting them on or taking them off or whatever. It's just a simple case of doing that. Yeah, otherwise you spend half your time trying to undo straps, especially some of the other more complex gloves around with their strapping systems. Yeah, so no, they're great. Don't want to take them off, they're so warm. I'll just turn them off and show you guys the charger that comes with them. So this is the charger, and it's a pretty clever sort of system in that you can charge both sets of batteries at the same time. It's got the two separate charging ports coming out of the one charger, so you're not having to have two chargers for two gloves. Just the one charger, and you just plug it straight into there, and the other one obviously into the other glove, and that's it. You're away. Plug it in and you're charging. It does say that it takes about 3.5 hours to give it a full charge, so yeah, that's just to be aware that if you're going for a ride, it's not just a half an hour charge. We did that on Saturday, just gone. I was aware that we had worn the gloves for a bit, so about an hour before we left, I put them on charge, and obviously they didn't get a full charge, and halfway through the ride on the weekend they did stop working, but that's because, like I say, they weren't fully charged. When you're storing the gloves, it says to leave them unplugged so that there's nothing draining the batteries. So what I do, I actually leave one of the terminals out like that, out of the glove, so that I know that it's not plugged in. Otherwise you'd walk past your gloves and you go, oh gee, have I disconnected the battery? Well, if you do that, then you just a quick glance and you can tell straight away that they're not plugged in to the actual batteries, and they're good to go. I did find that you've got to be aware that to lock the zip closed, you've got to, and it's probably the same with every other zip, you've got to make sure that that's down forward so it won't come open. I was leaving them like that, and obviously as you're riding along it would come open like that. No real big deal other than chance of cold air getting in somewhere where you don't want it. So yeah, just make sure that those are locked down to the front position like that, or forward position, and they'll lock closed, lock the zip closed. So all in all, they're a really good glove and nice and warm when they're working. I've got friends that have got the same glove, and they've actually bought another set of batteries, so that when you go to places like rallies where there's no power available and you've worn your gloves to the rally, well then obviously you can't charge them, you're going to have cold hands when you leave. So friends of mine have actually bought another set of batteries for the trip home. I thought they said they were about $50 for a set of batteries, but don't quote me on that. Reasonably waterproof too, from what I could gather. Again, just from the rides I've been in on the Brass Monkey, we did hit a little bit of wet weather, and yeah, they probably, from memory, possibly got a little damp, but certainly not a huge amount of water came through the glove. So they're all in all really good. Another point I'd like to make about the gloves is the sizing of the gloves. They are quite a big size in that, or size quite big. I've got reasonably sized hands, so my touring gloves I use a 2XL in the Alpine Stars touring gloves that I have. My 5s that I have are extra large and they're almost too small, but these gloves I've got large and they're a perfect fit. So it's just something to be aware of, that if you're ordering them online, especially if you can buy them online, to think about the size. That's why personally I'd rather go into a shop and try things on, like gloves, motorbike boots, etc. You can't beat actually trying them on and being sure. Like I say, my touring gloves are 2XLs and these are only large and they are perfect fit. So yeah, definitely worth going into a shop and trying them on just to be sure of the fit size. The cost was $259 from Rolling Thunder here in Christchurch for these gloves. So I don't know if you can get them cheaper online or anywhere else, but that's what these cost us. And like I say, they're Barra Heated Glove. Can highly recommend them. So if you're in the market, worth a look. Okay guys, well that's about me. Hope you enjoyed this short little review, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers guys. Oh, just to give you an idea of the price. Oops. That's very clever. You want to invest in some heated gloves, alright?
Oh, you've got heated gloves?
Yes.
How amazing.
We bought them for the Craft Monkey.
Oh.
And they are just so good.